All right, we're live on a Saturday morning live stream in three, two. Whoa, that's that was me, Raina. Let's do this. That was wild. It was like feedback central over there.
Happy Saturday.
Happy Saturday.
You made it to the weekend.
Woo! Every day is the weekend with my beautiful wife. Cheers.
Cheers.
You're not gonna believe it, but we have mail. You know what's really weird? Before we even get into that, I was saying, Rand told me about this email we got. I'll talk about that, but I was like, oh, I had this perfect situation where Johnny Carson used to say, "We've got mail," and he used to open envelopes and say, "We've got mail, we've got mail, we've got mail every day." I believe I can't find it on YouTube or anything, so I don't know if I'm going crazy or what. So we stuck to Blue's Clues because the whole mail thing. I never watched Blue's Clues though as a child. It came before my old.
Yeah, that's a little after you became a teenager and an adult. Blue's Clues is like our kids watched it.
Yeah, that's true. And there's a new Steve, right?
Yeah, I think they went through a couple Steves actually.
That's like Blippi, how there's a different Blippi, but it looks just like Blippi,
Yeah,
give or take a couple features.
exactly. So yeah, we got this message from a viewer, which is really cool and exciting. We're always excited when people reach out to us with questions, and we thought we would answer the question today. It was a question from Janice. So shout out to Janice if she's viewing right now. And she had a situation. So she's a web designer and she works for a company. They recently launched their site and she's noticing that other people within the company are reaching out to her to make changes, which are actually changing the original design. So her question was, what, as a web designer, can you present to them to show that we should either wait to change the design or we should actually change it? She's just taking kind of orders per se because she's being told, oh, make this change, make this change. But she really thinks that it could be really impacting the site in general and her original design. Because as a designer, I can kind of relate to this as you go in, you put research in on why you want this design to be this way. You've done, maybe looked at competitors, best practices, and formulated certain sections a certain way. And then things start to get put on top of that. It does compromise the design of the website. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. We're going to give Janice some advice and hopefully she can take it and have some options on how she would want to proceed with her situation.
Yeah, we've all been in this situation, Janice. I mean, I have.
As a developer too. Yeah.
We get the brunt of the workflow trickling down. So changes are made at the top, decisions that aren't involved in the technology or even the data, and it trickles down to department. And a so-and-so head of a department wants to appease their head of, the CEO trail of tiki poles. So we've all been there, and we do have some solutions, having been in these situations and knowing best practices. So, but to find out, you have to pay us $400, Janice.
No, this is free advice, Janice.
Just today, Saturday.
Thanks for listening. And yeah, we have a few different ways to go about this.
You want me to start?
Yep.
You want to start? You want me to start?
Are you ready to start?
Okay. Yeah, totally. So, Janice, I think from a developer standpoint, I'm sure there's like psychological things about it too, like stand your ground and say no, and how long things should take on the website. But from a person who just likes to get a task and to do the task, there is a solution. I love solutions. My solution would be to A and B test. So these new sections that they want to update or they want to add, you can put into there's a few of them out there right now. Google Apps is no longer around, but Hotjar does A and B testing. I can look up look it up while you're doing your. There's a bunch of services out there that'll say show this new layout compared to the old layout. You could set it 50% of the time or less, or even depending on location or actions. So these A/B test tools are really powerful. But then you can actually take that data and say, well, did this work? And why did it work? And then you can make that decision, because I think aimlessly updating sections of the website, there's no point in that. And Ray's gonna talk about the time and like how long things should take to index, of course, like that's a big part of it. But just to go in and say, this looks weird and let's update this now, it actually works against you, I think, in terms of SEO and just user experience. If you're just throwing stuff against the wall constantly to see what sticks. So my advice, again, A/B test is there's different ways to do it. There's simple ways where you can, if you're what does Chance do? She's a developer?
No, she's a designer.
You can set classes to sections, and in the A/B test, you could say show this class and hide this class 50% of the time, and vice versa. That's how I've done it before, where it's simple because both things can exist on the page at the same time. You can also do it with JavaScript. You can also do it programmatically with PHP, but it gets tougher going down the road of techniques. So
exactly.
A/B test.
And just to add to that, when you launch the site, it was important to kind of take a baseline of how the site was performing before. And then when you launch your new design, you can measure over time. But if you're making all these updates and changes, you won't ever really know what's working, because one, Google takes some time to index your site. And I'm not sure who is the person that's in charge of like indexing and Search Console and making sure that is. But usually companies have a developer or of some sort to help with those type of integrations and to make sure that the data is being, the data is flowing, as Google says, and is collecting that information. So anytime you want to make a change on the site, you want to make sure when it comes to content, new content, complete layout changes, things like that, you want to go and make sure you go to Search Console and index the site. And that takes some time. And once that's done, it will be registered within search engine and be able to collect the data. But if you're making all these changes, then it's going to be hard to see what's working and what's not. So I would say first, to make sure that the site is indexed, then to give it enough time to wait and make sure some data is collecting on those pages that you're making the changes on. And with that, if you're getting these requests to update the page and move sections around, that's when Tony's tip comes in handy, where you can leave the page as is and then just create another version, and it only shows that version to X amount of the users that view the page. So that way you're satisfying, okay, this was our original rollout. Let's compare it to this B test of the switches and the layout and the design change and the new images and all these things to see what is actually working. And that's important for anyone really to implement, because we get this all the time where it's like the site is, you get into that mode of design, and design. It has to be perfect. We have to add this, that, and the third. But nobody's sitting down and really saying, well, let's just sit on this and measure how it's being taken in by Google and the users.
Yeah, I think time is kind of precious when it comes to making updates on a website, because like you said, the indexing and stuff.
What do you say, like 3 months? Like it's hard to say, to give you exactly, it could take longer than that.
I think it's depending on the traffic volume of the site, really.
Yeah.
Because if you don't have a lot of data to compare and then make a decision off of, if you get 10 hits a day versus somebody that's getting 1 million hits a day, obviously it's a big difference. So I think the decision should be based on the importance of it, how much you want to appease the trickle down from whatever departments are telling you what to do. And sometimes, besides those two, those are like here's what you should do and here's how you should do it. But sometimes the answer, what's your sentence? I have it if you don't know what I'm talking about. Sometimes no is a full sentence.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
You might not have a job, but
but I think as a designer too, I know Janice isn't a
no, with
developer.
data, with
Yeah, but
a
sometimes
reason.
you have the skill and the experience to know, no, like this is not one. Maybe it does it better. I don't know. Maybe it's improvements, but sometimes you got to say like, let's stick with this for now because I know best. Oh, we need to take a break. Our Wi-Fi is going crazy. Let's make sure everything's closed. Got Figma
Mhm.
closed.
Hold that thought,
Hold that
Janice.
thought. We'll be back. We're on intermission. Let's put on a
I mean, I really don't have anything.
yeah. Oh, here it comes. I don't think it's even us. Look, it's like it goes down. Yeah, it's the ebb and the flow. Chris Cornell has a beautiful song about the ebb and the flow on his morning Euphoria morning album. Chef's Kiss, as they did. Love that album. Anyways, back to Janice. You've got mail. If anybody knows what I'm talking about, please save me because Johnny Carson definitely had a segment of his show that had mail, right? Am I going crazy? Was it David Letterman? Was it somebody else? But like I said, like I was saying, sometimes no is a full sentence. But obviously that's not for everybody. Like Maria said, you do want to have a job. It's sometimes you can't say no.
Yeah,
But I
and
think
if you say no and provide reasons why,
yeah,
you're
exactly.
saying no. It's their decision whether they understand both sides of the facts of, okay, if we do this, this could happen, and this is something that could be a drawback. If they want to take that risk, and then all you can do is your job.
Yep. And say yes, will do. Yeah, there's been some sites that I've worked on that have just been constant, like let's update it again, let's update it again, let's update it again, which is cool, because I'm doing the work and I get experience, or what if it's freelance, I get paid hourly, of course. But sometimes you look at it and you're like, you don't need to update it. You just want to collect that data and you want to make improvements on it without refreshing the site constantly. I went through a company that did, how many did I do? Like 4 website refreshes, I think, and there was never a goal, like actually using the data. It was more just, this is our new message and this is our new value proposition and this is the new text and these are new images. Like those are the very basic things. And that to me is very designing in a vacuum or developing in a vacuum, really, where you just make things fit on a page and there's no goal and there's no end result that you have planned and say, well, from this data, I want to fix this. So maybe they're bouncing off the site. Maybe they're not clicking through and converting. The main goal of most sites. There's nobody looking at that and they're just doing stuff with the same fix. So no names with the companies, but 4 times over the course of 5 years. Is that really? It depends on the company, of course. But if you're not going upward and you're just going straight, what's the point of refreshes instead of just let's take this and make it better?
Janice? So Janice, I hope you got the answer of how you're going to handle your situation there. But hopefully we provide you with those tips and places to go to kind of get that backup data that you'll need to kind of prove your design. Because I know when you spend so much time on a design, it's like your baby, and then you see it and then you launch it and it's like, wow, and then when there's so many hands in the pot, it starts to you add more content, and that beautiful section that you had on the header starts to look this long drawn out area, and you're like, oh no, this is not the design that I put out.
Like, I know what she's talking about too.
So that could happen with a lot of different types of situations, but
yeah,
it's always good to just keep that initial design for your portfolio.
Yeah,
your portfolio piece. And maybe Janice, you need to get your own website up and go in to show your original
shots fired.
To get your original image, and to promote yourself as a designer.
Just quit, Janice. That's our
No,
no.
we wish the best. That it hopes our
Yeah.
tips will improve your situation.
And I was going to say, just like you said, how sometimes it's your baby and you want to see it succeed. Let us know how it goes, because sometimes answers that we give people, those are kind of like our babies. We're like, here. So we want to know, did that baby grow up okay? So let us know in the comments or email on what happens, because we'll follow up too. It's always different. You never know what depending on the company, are they going to take it well, or are they going to be stubborn and say, no, I want this new section with my face floating higher. The CEO's face has to be bouncing into the screen.
Oh no. All right. Well, good luck, Janice.
Yeah. Good luck.
We'll be in touch. Follow up.
She's probably like, I followed your advice and quit. I said no, and I said this is a full sentence.
Sometimes that happens. Like, you'll talk to someone and then you don't, and they'll take whatever they're going to take from what your conversation is. And hopefully that will only improve their own situation. So you never know how it's going to hit.
Yeah. That's your, it could hit differently.
Differently for Janice.
Poor Janice.
She's putting her resignation in right now.
Stop.
Just
No, don't do it. We didn't mean it like that, Janice. Yeah, so anyways, hopefully that answers your question. Come back, let us know. If you have any questions, viewers, be sure you can email us at questions@threetonedigital.com. You can
send us a message too on LinkedIn. I get a lot of messages coming in.
Just comment below the video wherever you're watching this. So X, Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, and that's it. I was gonna say, or on our website, but you can't comment on our website. We're getting nobody uses our website to comment, so we turned off the comments. But there's a lot of places to comment if you have any questions.
All right. So what's the national day today? Let's see.
Well, what were they? I had some couple facts.
So today is July 6th. Today is July 6th. Okay, what's going on today?
Play that Rihanna song.
Oh my gosh, everyone. It's National Fried Chicken Day. I can't tell my daughter that. She'll be like, I want chicken.
Yeah, she loves fried chicken. She even liked the fried chicken I made that I burnt to a crisp.
Oh no, that wasn't edible.
It caught on fire. I put it outside because it was on fire, and then I took it in, and then she ate it, and then she was like, "This is the best fried chicken I've ever had."
I did not allow her to eat that.
She had a few bites though. It's also National Hand Roll Day, which is weird because yesterday was Spam Day, and Spam Musubi is speaking of Spam Musubi, blah, 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 but I made Spam fried rice yesterday because of all that talk of Spam. And I even had a midnight snack of the Spam fried rice. It's very good, very spicy.
Oh.
With some milk, because I'm a baby child, I guess, who drinks milk. I keep telling my son's like, you still drink milk? Like, yes.
Well, Tony had Spam. I made pizza yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
It was really good. We have so many herbs from the garden. So we had thyme and basil. And I just took all of those and chopped them up and put them on toppings, onions, turkey pepperoni. It was really, really delicious. I think I have a picture. Let's show everyone.
It was really good. My shirt says, while we're waiting, code is poetry. You know what's weird? I had a dream about PHP code.
See, it says the pizza.
Mm.
And that's a new dish that I got at Wits End. It was it's a really cute 4-sectioned thing, and it's almost like, what does it remind me of? Crop, where you can get pins and you put them on there. So you can get pins for your serving dish. It has all different ones. They have coffee, which I have to go back and get maybe today. All different foods, and for Christmas time, like a perfect serving dish. So
Yeah, they had a
I've never
penguin.
seen anything like it. I thought it was super unique and cute.
Yeah, you just like they're expensive though. They're $17. You just pop them out and you put one in. You know what's weird about that?
We could make our own though. Like if we really wanted to
could.
hack it, we
There's
could.
a little tube, but the little tube says you have to lick it before you put it on.
I didn't do any of that, and it's sticking perfectly.
Yeah,
So.
it's like please lick. It's like this weird direction. You wouldn't. Why doesn't it say wet?
I thought
Why
it said
is
just
it-
put water on it. I didn't see anything about licking.
Nah, it said lick it on the sign at Wits End. Maybe it was trying to be funny. I don't know. But I've been licking it, so
That's gross.
I don't know. It's really gross.
Please don't. Go wash the dish now.
Besides that, today is the day that Paul McCartney met John Lennon for the first time. Crazy. I wonder if they'd ever met, there wouldn't be a Beatles. I wonder if music would have been in a different direction. People always say that the Beatles changed music, which I always am very highly skeptical of that line. Like, if it wasn't for so and so, we wouldn't have. I don't agree with that. But I do agree that it's kind of like the butterfly effect. If something didn't exist, then there wouldn't be, or there'd be different versions of songs, you know, if we just take away a whole very important band in history. So I do like the Beatles. Not as much as some people, but they do.
Yeah, I was hanging out with the Beatles last night. Literally.
Yeah.
We had an outdoor movie night last night, and we had the projector screen up.
You have a picture of that?
And I think I do. I think
it looks so nice. I have a picture from before, but it was girls' night. I was on a live stream playing music with Jonathan, DJ Dope. If you're watching, shout out. It was fun. Oh wow, a little crazy. A lot of what's that word? Strangers? I think they're strangers. I haven't been on the space.
It's hard to really see it, but yeah. So we were out, and with the lights and everything, the Beatles were like coming through. So I think next time maybe turn off the lights and figure out the Beatles. I mean, I'd rather have Beatles than I guess mosquitoes. We didn't get bit, so that's good. But the Beatles were coming full effect. Yeah,
I had that box out there, the Therma. It's like a mosquito. You put the liquid in, it keeps them away.
We could also do like the netting or something, but I think we can figure it out.
Yeah,
it'll be even more. It will be better for the fall, I think, when there's less bugs out there.
Yeah. The problem with the netting is that they get stuck in the netting, and then you're trapped in there with the bugs, like a tent. When you open a tent and they all fly in, and then you're like, "Why am I even in
here?" Yeah, there's always one that gets in.
Yeah, there's more bugs inside than there are outside. Defeats the purpose. So yeah, John Lennon and Paul McCartney. You know, Dalai Lama was born today.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Forrest Gump opened up today. And it's 50 Cent's birthday and Kevin Hart's birthday.
Wow.
And it was the day.
Happy birthday, all the birthdays out there.
Yeah. And it's also the day that it's like African American history right here, but Serena Williams, I believe she's the one that beat her sister Venus Williams for the championship in Wimbledon in 2002.
Oh.
And which is really ironic, the first African American to win the Wimbledon was today in, let me see what the date was. It was a while ago. So always these crazy ads. I don't know. 1960s, I'm going to say. So her name was Althea Gibson. 1957. There it is. You know, I've been to the Tennis Hall of Fame in Newport, Rhode Island.
I feel like I was there. I've been there too. I don't know.
It's pretty boring. I don't do tennis. I mean,
pretty boring
as a kid, but just messing around.
Oh, look, it is National Hop a Park Day. I thought it was like a national park day, but it means like a playground.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, because there's a picture of a playground. Like this is the first Saturday in July where they say enjoy public parks. Blah 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 blah. Have a picnic.
Just talking about things. We're not even sharing a screen. This is how Saturday streams go, everybody.
No, so
we are going to a playground later. I told my son.
Yeah, we'll see what the weather is like. It looks like it might rain. I don't know how it is over there. Is it sunny? Or it's sunny right now.
Yeah, let's see what the weather is like in Antarctica today. Negative 40 degrees right now. Someday I'm gonna go there. Someday I'm gonna touch a penguin. We keep letting these moments, these opportunities slip by me, but one day I'm gonna do it. There's all these things like come touch a penguin at the Mystic Aquarium. Come touch a penguin. Touch a penguin.
We did do a penguin event. I remember doing that with you.
Yeah, you got it for me for my birthday, I believe. Oh, hold on. Our internet. Let's wait till it comes back up, and then we'll wrap up the show and get on with our Saturdays. We're still muted. We don't need the rest of that countdown because the internet is back. Thanks, Leon.
Well, everyone, I hope you guys have a beautiful Saturday and hope you learned something today. Janice, I hope you took away some tips on how you're going to handle the design situation to really be able to have a point and back it up with data and have some solutions to present to your team. So
yeah, we appreciate the question, and we encourage people to ask questions because it only betters us, you know. But we get questions all
and
day.
it makes things interesting when there's somebody else chiming in.
We're not just screaming into the abyss. Hello. Yeah, it's more interactive, so we appreciate it. Have a great weekend.
And enjoy your Saturday.